infamous criminal trials in America. The brothers accused of the murder of their wealthy parents.
By now, I'm sure you've all heard about the infamous Menendez brothers case. Lyle and Erik Menendez shocked the nation back in 1989 when they brutally murdered their parents in their Beverly Hills mansion. But here's the twist. Over 30 years later, new evidence has surfaced and these brothers might actually be getting out of prison soon. And guess who's leading the charge for their release? None other than Kim Kardashian herself. Yep, you've heard that right, so without wasting any more time, let's dive into what's changed after all these years. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates on cases like this one.
And talk about the 6 secrets of the family.
The crime that shocked America. Let's rewind to what exactly happened. In August 1989, the Menendez brothers, Lyle, then 21, and Erik, who was then 18, shot their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their home while they were watching TV and enjoying some ice cream. Jose Menendez was a big-shot entertainment executive, so this was not just any ordinary crime. It was like something straight out of a Hollywood movie, and it grabbed headlines everywhere. At first, people thought it was tied to organized crime. Honestly, who would expect 2 well-off kids to do something like this? But it turns out the police were looking in the wrong direction. 6 months later, Lyle and Erik were arrested for the murders. Prosecutors claimed they killed their parents for the inheritance. Millions of dollars that the brothers immediately started spending on luxury cars and trips after the murders. Pretty wild, right? But the brothers had a different story. They said they killed their parents in self-defense after years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse by their father. They claimed their mother knew but did nothing to protect them. During the trial, the defense argued that Jose's abuse was so severe that Erik and Lyle feared for their lives, believing their father would kill them to keep the abuse secret. Family members even backed them up, saying that they had witnessed signs of abuse. An expert testified that the abuse could have driven them to commit the crime, but that the trial ended in a hung jury, so they had to do it all over again. In the second trial, the judge limited evidence of the brothers' abuse, leading to their conviction for first-degree murder, and they were sentenced to life without parole. Why are we talking about this again? Fast forward to 2024 and the Menendez brothers are making headlines once more. Why? Well, new evidence has come to light that could change everything. The Los Angeles District Attorney George Gascon announced that his office is reviewing the case, specifically looking at new claims of abuse and other evidence that wasn't considered in the original trials. One big piece of this new evidence is a letter written by Erik Menendez before the murders where he talks about the abuse he suffered. There is also a testimony from a former member of the boy band Menudo who said he was abused by Jose Menendez as well. Now, we're not talking about whether the brothers killed their parents. That is not in question. The big question is how much responsibility do they actually bear given the abuse they went through? Did the trauma they experienced push them to commit this crime? And should that reduce their sentence? What makes this case even more relevant today is the shift in how society views abuse, especially sexual abuse against men. Back in the 90s, claims of abuse, especially against males, were not taken seriously. Today, there's much more awareness of how long-term abuse affects a person's mental health and decision-making. Social media plays a big role here too. If you were on TikTok during the pandemic, you might have noticed that people, especially younger women, started talking about the case again. There were tons of TikToks analyzing the case, discussing the brothers' claims of abuse, and even calling for their release. All this buzz caught the eye of Ryan Murphy, the guy behind shows like American Horror Story, and created the very controversial Netflix show about the Menendez brothers. One trial lawyer even said that social media has been key in putting pressure on the district attorney to review the case, and it's worked. The Menendez brothers have openly said they're thankful for the support they've received from this younger, more informed audience. Kim Kardashian's role in the fight. Now let's get to the part you've probably been waiting for. Kim Kardashian's involvement. Yep, the same Kim K, who built an empire off reality TV and beauty products, is now using her platform to advocate for criminal justice reform. She has met with the Menendez brothers and has written an essay calling for their release. Kim says the brothers are not the same people they were when they committed the murders. She also points out that the media's portrayal of the brothers during their first trial made it impossible for them to get a fair hearing. She exclaims the that their abuse claims were ridiculed and mocked in the media, with shows like Saturday Night Live even making jokes about their situation. This kind of public perception, Kim argues, stripped them of any empathy or understanding from the public and the jury. In her essay, she argues that they've transformed over the years, earning college degrees and even serving as mentors in prison. She highlights that they have exemplary disciplinary records and notes that one of the wardens said he'd feel comfortable having them as neighbors. But it's not just about their good behavior in prison. Kim highlights that the new evidence, while Erik's letter describing the abuse was not allowed in the second trial, which meant the jury did not get the full story. She believes that if their case were handled today with how we now understand trauma and abuse, the outcome would have been very different. And she is not alone. About 24 other family members, including Jose and Kitty Menendez's siblings, have voiced their support for the brothers' release. They believe that after serving more than 30 years in prison, the Menendez brothers deserve a second chance and have asked the justice system to reconsider their sentences. Marvelous verdict. So what could be next? Could Lyle and Erik Menendez actually be released after all these years? Their lawyers are pushing for a resentencing, which could mean the brothers would be released with time served. Others think there might be a new trial where all the evidence, including the abuse claims, can finally be fully considered. Either way, there is a very real chance that the Menendez brothers could walk free. Some legal experts believe that a resentencing is the most likely outcome. This would allow the brothers to be released, especially considering how well they have behaved in prison and the way society now views the victims of abuse. But this case is not just about the Menendez brothers. Their situation highlights a bigger issue, that there are so many people in prison, especially those who have faced abuse, who never got this kind of attention. Because for every case like the Menendez brothers, there are countless others whose cases never made it into the spotlight. If the brothers do end up getting released, it could open the door for many other similar cases to be revisited, raising important questions about justice and who deserves a second chance. What do you guys think? Should the Menendez brothers be released? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this one. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next marvelous video.